this being the most ethnically diverse adaptation of the Musketeers, did you feel an extra sense of satisfaction knowing that you're bringing diversity to period pieces, because period pieces tend to be very whitewashed because people have a very whitewashed perspective of old-time Europe?
You know what? I actually didn't really think about it because for me, growing up, I've never ever thought or believed that race or, you know, the difference therein would ever hinder me or hold me back. I've just thought that I'm focusing on storytelling, being the best reactor that I can be, and move forward, you know, and really it's only as I've become more experienced that I've started to encounter, you know, moments of prejudice, and, you know, whether it's subtle or obvious, you know, where it does in fact have an effect on proceedings and decisions and things, and it becomes apparent, you know. So in answer to your question, you know, it's I think it's a great thing that I was, you know, cast, but I wasn't cast for the colour of my skin or whatever. I'm sure that was part of the decision thing, of course, but ultimately I believe it was because of what I brought to the table. But then we've got to remember that there was still some sort of resistance, because in The Guardian, you know, there was this thing, like, I think the day after the first ep was aired, with the headline, "Why did the BBC cast a black musketeer?" And I called the press office at the BBC and said, well, you know, I'm not actually black, I'm mixed race. I'm proud of both sides of my heritage. And they had it changed, but the question was still asked and it still stood. And it was a, you know, interesting article, and some of the, you know, comments afterwards were very like, wow, that's the country we live in, you know, because they were, you know, shambolic, you know, terrible. And but yeah, you know, it's, yeah, I hope that answers your question, but it's there were many people that looked like me back when these stories are set and were penned. And so to deny that is, if people want to deny it, whatever, I don't care, you know, let them deny it. But facts are facts, and, you know, that thing about history is written by the, you know, the people who benefit most from it, or however it goes.
Well, everyone gets whitewashed, like people don't know that makes
Yeah, but you know what? It's the whole whitewashing thing is it's a desperate and futile attempt at holding on to something which people, I don't think, really value any longer. People from all different backgrounds, races, heritages have so much to bring to the table, and we can all only evolve further and become better by welcoming that with open arms, you know. It's what makes us different, which is most interesting. There are plenty of stories out there, and you could argue that, you know, the most successful stories are the ones that are the most open, you know, because the mind is like a parachute. It works better when it's open, you know. And so, in my humble opinion, if they want to whitewash stuff, let them whitewash stuff, you know. They want to blackwash stuff, let them blackwash stuff, you know. But for me, the diversity, not for diversity's sake, but certainly stories that are more diverse are just by default more interesting, you know. Yeah.
And there were some really strong character moments for Porthos on the show, like throwing the necklace off, and or was it a gem for the poor folks to find it?
Yeah, the diamond or whatever it was.
Yeah, getting to learn more about his father. So, what were the standout moments for you in playing that character?
Well, I think I was asked this question before, and I've got a few. To be honest, you'd be surprised how many great moments never made it to the edit. I don't know why. I mean, that's another decision. It's nothing to do with me, but, you know, I like those moments of. I like moments where something is revealed at the level of character. You know, sometimes they can be small and sometimes they're a bit bigger, but I like those moments where something leaks. You know, and we see what makes this person tick. And, you know, I've had a few of those, probably more than a few, but I've certainly had a few over the course of, you know, 3 seasons, and I've always enjoyed having the opportunity to play them and investigating them, and trying to solve character problems. This is the thing. As an artist, we love creative problems. You know what I mean? It's like that's where you want to be. You're trying to solve something. How do I do this? How do I express this? And you just want something to be rich enough in the first place to enable you to really get your, bury your teeth in and get stuck into that. So but I think that, the really, really, really obvious ones are, there were a few moments of my father, Bellegarde, and there were a few moments with the ladies in my life, the Elodies, Alice, of course, and then Flea. I liked the episode with Sharon. I think it gave me an opportunity to reveal certain things, and then the stuff with Treville. That kind of father-son thing. Again, it just gave me an opportunity to really delve deeper and do the more emotional stuff, rather than just be this kind of hired comic gun. That stuff's great, but too much of a good thing can be a bit sickening. So I think it's about, again, not just diversity in terms of personnel, but diversity of motif and action and intention. That's the stuff that really gets me going, I think. Yeah.
And I know you can't talk about upcoming projects, but in a broader sense, do you have any interest in doing something in addition to acting, like writing, directing,
I am.
along those lines? Oh, I am. Not even. Okay.
I am. I'm
That sounds foreboding.
I'm writing, and it's coming along very, very nicely. I've just been asked to direct something, which is in the works. I've got great ambitions to direct. I believe I'll be very good at it. I've got a very good eye, and so film and TV, of course, is a visual medium, and that's certainly something that fascinates me, and that I believe I excel at, and of course can still learn from and evolve in. But there's nothing like experience to kind of learn and as I say, evolve. But yeah, I've just been asked to direct something, which is a fascinating script and something that I hope I can actually do. But it's again, politics. So we'll see what happens. I've signed a letter of intention about that, and and I've got some great ideas which the producers love. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I haven't signed anything yet, so we'll see.
And then one last question, and I guess it's kind of a big one, but in your opinion, what do you think the key is, or what steps do you think need to be taken in order to diversify the content that actually gets put out there? Is it getting more writers in that are of a broader background, or like is it the higher ups, or what do you think?
I think it's a little of all of that. I certainly think that I don't live in the UK anymore, and I now live further afield in a place called the United States of America, but the reason why is because it's a much more fertile, far more fertile land than my homeland, and it is what it is. You go where the land is most fertile, because you reap what you sow. So the content over there, the stories over there, much more fruitful, much fuller, and it's something that I had to address in my career, because despite having relative success with a primetime show on the BBC, it's still not enough. And it's not because there's some big racist thing going on, it's because the parts aren't there. And we can label that what we want to label it, but does it change it? No, action changes it. So yes, it has to start on the page. There have to be more parts. There should be more parts. There shouldn't be tokenism, and having something for the sake of having it. It should be awarded on merit. And there are plenty of good actors out there. I know a lot of wonderful white, black, brown, any other colour you can mention that represents, a shade of humanity. I can name an actor in all of them that you may not even know who are brilliant and bring stuff to the table. So the actors are there. Does it make money? That's the question. I don't know the answer to that. All I know is that I love storytelling, and I love those interesting, dynamic, fruitful, colourful stories. You know, no pun intended. But it's the more of that, the merrier, in my opinion. You know, and the Americans, the stuff that they're doing with things like the Night Of, you know, wonderful stuff. You know, a whole myriad of, you know, God, all of what I've mentioned, intention, diversity, and then some. You know, it's and it works, and they do it very well. And so yeah. Hi, I'm Howard Charles, and you're watching MyMBUZZ.